Successful people learn how to make their mind work for them. I'm David Nagel, and this is the Successful Mind Podcast.
That's where we get to the fourth law, which is the law of relativity. Now, the law of relativity basically says that everything in the universe is relative, and it's also what we're talking about is how we actually give things meaning. Now, why is this law important? It's important because it really governs how we think. The meaning that we give to something is a story that we create about that thing. Once we create the story about something, it becomes very powerful. It either moves us forward or it keeps us where we are, or it moves us backward. So it starts off with what is the meaning that I'm giving to something. If we don't understand this law in order to shift how we're going to give something meaning, we will give something meaning by default of our previous stories. So what we want to do is we want to give things meaning that empower us, that actually help feed our desire to continue to move forward. So actually, this law is a very simple law. It basically states that everything in the universe just is. This box is neither big or small, it just is. But I will instantly see it different if I compare it to something. So if in my field of view, while I'm looking at this box, I see a box that's bigger and a box that's smaller, I will kind of see this as the medium or the middle box. But the truth is, the box just is. It's neither big or small. It only becomes big or small when you compare it to something that's bigger or smaller. So when we're looking at things in our life, we could say, this is difficult. Well, compared to what? When you say something's difficult, what are you comparing it to? When you say something's expensive, what are you comparing it to? When you say something is hard, what are you comparing it to? Very often, we will bring comparisons in that actually rob us of our energy, rob us of our desire, and ultimately rob us of our future, because in the moment that we give something meaning, when we find out something that we have to do and we go into not liking having to do it or giving it a negative meaning, we instantaneously create a story around it that becomes disempowering. And that disempowering story holds us in the same space. And as long as we have those disempowering stories, we create blind spots almost everywhere in our life because our mind needs to take the shape of the reality that we're experiencing. Another reason why we created Blind Spot Breakthrough, so that somebody else can help coach you through the idea of your personal blind spot in your life right now, so that you can see where the opportunity is and actually have a plan of action on that opportunity.
You're the cause of the way your life is. Nobody else and nothing else. I now have the power to change it. I can do anything once I accept that responsibility.
But understand how, even if this seems so simple, but it's extraordinarily powerful. Like nobody would realize by looking at this, that this will determine the entire quality of your existence. It's the way that you use this law, because it is the fundamental idea that creates the story, and the story either moves your life forward or it moves it backward. You create either a magnificent future for yourself or a destructive one. And it's how you use this law that's actually doing it, because it's determining which way your mind is going to get what you want. Do you have inspiration or desperation? It's how you use this law. Because the second I give something meaning, I've got a story behind it. And then based on the law of perpetual transmutation, it will grow the story. It doesn't matter if it's good or bad. It will grow it. It doesn't have a choice. The second you give it meaning, you bring the story in and you start to grow it instantaneously. That becomes your reality, which then reinforces the story, which reinforces the meanings that you give to something. And then that becomes the reality that we live in. If we're going to be extraordinary in our life, we have to give things unbelievable meanings, really great, solid, inspirational meanings, meanings that allow us to move through to the next level all the time. When we do that, we create an empowering story that energizes the desire. And we do that over and over again, so that we're consistently getting the result that we want. And it also helps us see the future of what we want. It's very inspirational. Why do you think inspirational movies, inspirational books, inspirational stories from storytellers are so powerful for us? Because those stories help us bridge the gap from where we are to where we want to be in life. They give us the inspiration. They show us the people and the things that have gone before. They can also be very cautionary tales of what not to do in life. And it all starts with the meaning that you're going to give to something. What are you here to experience in this lifetime? That is going to be based on the meaning that you give to everything in your life. If you give something the correct meaning, you instantly bring all the laws in. It energizes your desire. It energizes your ambition. It allows you to create the vision that is absolutely necessary for where you want to go. And it helps you access the courage in order to break through every fear, every uncertainty, and every obstacle so that you can win every single day.